What's going on, YouTube? It's McGarvin from Nice Gaming. Just wanted to share with you all a part of the conversation the boys and I had around Death Note. The question was raised, if you found a Death Note in real life, would you use it, keep it, or leave it alone? The full discussion can be heard on the Beam Me Up podcast, now streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever it is you can find your podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more nerd conversations and great gameplay. Tell us in the comments below your thoughts on using the Death Note in real life. Thanks for watching.
I was about to put myself in, I know when you said like discussions on the internet, like with whether I was right, especially with Thanos and stuff like that, but specifically for Light, like him, if I was ever in his shoes where I did find the Death Note and I knew what it can do, like I said earlier, I don't think I'd be able to do what he did. Even if for some reason I could watch the show from here, but if in real life I was ever in that position where I had that book, I'd probably get it off, give it to one of y'all, but like, or something else. Like, I don't...
Wait, you gonna pass it off to us?
No, like, even, I'd like to think that I'm responsible enough to know, like, I will do more harm than good with this, regardless of how much good I think I'm doing, so I don't think that my moral compasses should have this type of power. Let me give it to someone that should. Or maybe think that maybe no one should have this moral compass and try to put it in my shredder back at home. I don't know. Especially if some random Shinigami came up behind me talking about, you got any apples? Hell no.
But I think that's what's interesting because, you know, I say now as an adult, like, nah, that's wrong, whatever. You know, I don't know what my mindset would be if I was 17. You know what I mean? So there's that factor too, where it's like his brain's not fully developed. Like his moral compass is a little off, but he's also a kid, and so in his mind he can believe like, no, this is fine. Like who cares if I'm just killing criminals and stuff like that? But
right.
it's kind of wrong. I think too what the show does well is like when you have a premise like that, you know, everyone can identify with. And I don't want to make people sound bad, but you know, most people will wish, even for a second, you wish harm on someone who has harmed you. Or has done something wrong
100%.
to you. So it's like if someone has done something to you or has committed some crazy crime, you're like, oh, I hope they get beat up. I hope something happens to him. I hope that, you know what I'm saying. And so for a second, you understand where his mind is, where it's like, well, I mean, he was a douchebag anyway, or like he was this person. He raped, he stole, he did something. It's like I get it, but I don't know if you should do that.
Well, yeah, because at that point, it's, you know, yeah, you wish harm on somebody, but not from your own doing.
Yeah,
like
I think it's different if you have to do it.
Exactly. If you had to pull the trigger, no. But like, yeah, I hope he gets shot. Like, it's
so Death Note came out when 2007, and first time I saw it was 2008. So we were like 16 at the time. I remember thinking I would never do this. I would never even open that book. Wouldn't look at it twice. I would have looked at it, opened it, saw what was in there, put it back down, and kept going on my way to English class. I'm not doing it. No, but that's really how I felt like I would have handled it. Now being an adult, I would love to say the same thing of like, oh yeah, I'll just pick it up, put it down. Oh, nope, not doing it. I won't use it. But I know that I understand human nature enough to know that like I'd put it, I'd grab it, I'd, you know, put it in my bag and just, you know, I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to touch it. And then like something crazy is going to happen where like, you know, some xenophobic asshole gets voted in to be president. I might break it out. Might break out the book with my fountain pen. I might like, and I just understand that like, I would love to be like, hey, I'm a great person. I would never do that. But I do understand that sometimes like things happen and you're like, you know what? He kind of got it coming.
He's got to go.
Now he's on TV holding his chest.
If I ran up on the Death Note knowing exactly what it was, me as a person, absolutely not. Because it wouldn't just stop with one xenophobic asshole. Like I'd start writing Harry Potter sized books.
Yep, and that's where it gets scary.
Ask the Shinigami like, yo, you got more pages for this? Because I'm on the last one. That's impossible. It's infinite. You better go back to CBS and get more college ruled.
You start writing in a really, really small font. You have plenty of room.
You start going back in pages and writing in between the lines, man. You try to fit
I
all
got
that.
some chips to eat. I tell you, I'm about to go off.
Right.
No, I mean,
so like, go ahead, Dwayne.
No, I was gonna say, me personally, I feel like I'm not about that life. Like, I definitely would I carry it around, yes, but I just don't know if I'd be able to pull the trigger.
See, I just carrying it around. It was just the temptation.
It's bad. Oh yeah, it's definitely a temptation. I definitely read it through and see what all the rules are and stuff like that. But I don't know if I'd be able to pull that trigger. I feel like that's like McGarvin said, if I'm in that state of mind where it's like, well, forget it. It's time for them to go. Like I might dabble in the book, and that's a problem.
All it takes is one bad day.
Yeah.
It reminds me of something Teddy and I were talking about not that long ago. He was talking about how his friend was like, oh, I gotta have a gun for protection or whatever.
Oh my god, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, go ahead.
You will move. Yeah, so basically, argument I had with someone before was, he's like, you know, basically he's just all about like being able to own a gun and like carry a gun, which, you know, I'm not necessarily against like owning guns. I'm just like, you shouldn't have an AR, but like, whatever. Cool. If you want to tell you the zombie apocalypse is coming, so be it. So the thing is, it's like, what I was trying to tell him was, if you have a gun, right, you will move differently. You just will. And his argument was, nah, I wouldn't do that. I was like, no, you would. So like if me and my boys run up on you and you don't have a gun, your attitude and how you move is going to be real different. There's going to be a whole lot of, yo, relax. It ain't even like that. It's cool. Let's just, it's a lot of pleading. It's a lot of pleading. Come on, man. Hoping that you can get away. A lot of pleading and hoping that you can get away, right? You will move differently. You're going to walk differently. You're going to move to different hoods and you're going to do all sorts of stuff because you got it. You know what I'm saying? If you had it on you, it's different. You're going to move differently. You're going to do all sorts of things because you got it on you. So it just doesn't matter whether you think you're moving differently or not. When the 4 dudes run up on you, you now aren't going to be pleading because you know you got the hammy. You know what I'm saying? Like you know you got something for him. So I think that's the issue where it comes to temptation with something like a Death Note where it's like, oh, I carried it on me. Okay, you're going to move different if you're carrying it on you. Yeah. Like if you literally have the ability, that's all you got to do is just reach and just have a pen. That's it. Oh, don't let me. Don't let me keep half a sheet in the wallet.
I was about to say
don't let me on the club night where it's like I can't bring the whole bag in, but I mean I got my wallet on me. Don't let me. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. It's
I think. My thought is that anyone who picks up the Death Note, reads through it, and puts it in their bag or carries it around with them or decides not to put it back on the ground, I think what they're trying to, they're going to pretend like it's not, I'm just having it, I'm just holding it, I'm holding it for a friend, I'm not going to use it. You're going to use it. I think it's just, there's a certain level of shame that comes with saying that out loud. And as y'all know, I'm well past all that. I can say freely, like, if I pick up that Death Note, I'm probably going to keep it around. I'm not going to use it frequently, but to say that I'm not going to use it is a total lie. Because I know that, I know how I am, I know how humans are in general. I understand that, like, it only take but a moment for you to be like, you know what, fuck it, his name going down. And so when people are like, oh, I wouldn't use it, I'd pick it up but I wouldn't use it, I'm like, no, you're just trying to convince yourself that you wouldn't use it because it feels bad to think about the fact that you would be someone to use the Death Note. But I don't think that makes you a bad person. I think it makes you human. It makes you a rational person to understand, like, yo, if I have this power, I'm not gonna like put it back down on the ground.
Exactly. I mean,
I'm gonna just try and get it off because I know I'm a terrible human being. It'd be bad news
exactly
bears
right.
for everybody.
Exactly right.
So it's like, you know what, let me get this up out of here. Let me take it back to wherever it came from.
But the minute you don't do that, the minute you don't destroy it, the minute you don't just put it back, the minute you decide, all right, I'm just gonna hang it on just in case.
Yeah, there goes.
Sorry, bro. Like that's it.
Right. And I think there are many even like to move to different franchises, there are many things like that. The Infinity Stones were that way, at which point Thanos is like, I destroyed them because the only reason I would even have it is just temptation. So fuck it. They gotta go. You know what I'm saying?
Dragon Balls.
Right.
Dragon Ball, same way.
The Millennium Rings from Yu-Gi-Oh!
The ring from Lord of the Rings. Like, you gotta destroy it. Like, because if I keep it, now this is gonna happen. It's like, nah, just get rid of it. Like, it's gotta go. Whatever the item is.